Get woke, go broke. A giant YouTuber known as Moist Critical has now been forced off the internet after going woke, and chaos has ensued. So, their warning has been there for a long time. This is what happens when you go woke. A giant YouTuber known as Moist Critical, his real name is Charlie. Dude has like 15 million subscribers. I might be off by a couple million. Has recently quit the internet, rage quit the internet after some things that he said when he spoke with another banned YouTuber known as Sneako. Guys, if you want to know everything that happened, stay to the end of the video to fully understand what the consequences of this happening are, the major implications that it's going to have on YouTube, society, and everything. So let's go ahead and just jump right into this video because it actually delves into the situation a bit more.
And his family, he and she and that family is making that decision for that child's life. If that's the path they want to go down, it's like choosing a fucking sport. You can
No, it's not! No, it's not!
You can do what you want to do?
No, it's not! You go play a sport, you quit, nothing changes. You cut off your can't glue it back on. This guy's a brick, man. This guy's a brick. I thought he was smarter than this, man.
Everything woke turns
Go home to mommy.
turns
Go home to mommy.
turns
Go home to mommy.
everything woke turns
Go home to mommy.
turns
Go home to mommy.
turns
Go home to mommy.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and it appears that Moist Critical or Charlie or Penguin Zero has now rage quit the entire internet for an indefinite period of time after getting a minute amount of backlash over an opinion he had. This was not expected. I think when you get backlash, there's generally a few options. One, you can double down, which is what most people do, right or wrong. Two, you can go back on it. You can change your opinion. Or three, you can hide from it. This is, I guess, what Charlie has chosen to do. Look, I understand. I've been on the receiving end of, kind of mobs of people saying mean stuff to you. Charlie is a milquetoast commentator who almost never puts out any controversial opinions, like on purpose. So it doesn't surprise me that this is probably one of the first times he's gotten a ton of backlash. I know that there were people who said, hey, you didn't talk about, the Mr. Beast situation fast enough. So he started getting some backlash about that. And then when he did talk about it, then he got even more backlash because he revealed, at least in his own words, that he viewed, youths removing parts of their body to support a mental health issue is the same as kids playing football and quitting. That's exactly what he said. He then has tried for days now to clarify his position, to backtrack. He's been getting bombarded with negative feedback because essentially he underestimated that once you're milquetoast, I'm going to explain what's really happening to Charlie here as somebody who's been through this, okay? Again, I wish the best for him. You're allowed to have a bad take. You're also allowed to even have an opinion that other people disagree with. I wish that Charlie had just doubled down on his opinion or clarified it in a single video and then got back to work. That's how this stuff goes away. But in this case, he decided he misjudged his own audience and now he's paying for it. By the way, if you didn't know yet, my coffee company, Coffee Brand Coffee, is doing a limited time site-wide sale, 15% off everything on the website. That includes our limited time summer flavors and whole bean and ground. This includes our K-Cups. This includes our decaf, our double calf, our Colombian, our Ethiopian roasts, our dark roasts, our ultra dark roasts, our cocos, everything with promo code BREAK. We roast our own stuff, ultra small batch, and I'll give you 100% money back guarantee. If you don't like my coffee, I'll give you your money back. We haven't raised our prices at all during all this inflation nonsense. In fact, I've put it on sale. Promo code BREAK. Give us a try or stock up if you're a regular customer. There are many of those as well. Now, I want to talk about this Charlie stuff because what's happening is very, very obvious. I went through it. A lot of people go through it. And it's tough. It can be tough. And I get it. I get where he's coming from. Charlie is a guy that has never really had a tough opinion to share. He's enjoyed being milquetoast for a very long time. I went through this too. When I was a Magic the Gathering YouTuber and I came out and said, the Magic the Gathering kind of started leaning to the left, right? And they started calling everybody misogynistic and toxic masculinity. And they started saying that men were gatekeeping the game and that men were bad. I had my awakening moment where I said, no, this is actual nonsense. Every time I see a girl came into a hobby shop or a game shop, like swarmed with people welcoming them and treating them like goddesses, even if they were 700 pounds. So that was kind of my awakening. And then, I was sloppy. I made fun of somebody too a little aggressively. I ended up getting banned from the game for life.
I mean, guys, this is kind of just a situation you have to think about. But I don't know. Jeremy from the Quartering, he's kind of like saying that, Charlie misjudged his audience. But I don't think he did. I think that a lot of YouTubers are misjudging everything. Like, they think that social media is a real place. They think that, everyone has to be forced into this little box of thinking. Like, Charlie's pretty young. Charlie is not that old. He's practically a Gen Zer if he's not outright a Gen Zer. If we look it up and say, like, how old is Moist Critical? He's 28. He's 28 years old. All right. He's 28. He's going on 29. So, he's a cusper of Gen Z. So he's one of them. He's one of them. And you have to understand that, he's a part of that whole woke brigade. He believes in woke, and these are the consequences. These are the absolute consequences. It's understandable why he quit, to be very honest. Jeremy's saying that he should have just doubled down on it. Nah, that's not something you should double down on, bro. That's absolutely not something that you should double down on. You should basically just, walk away from it and just leave it alone and don't go further on it, because when you're getting involved in these very, very political things, like, you kind of want to stay away from this stuff. And even if you have those beliefs, like, the internet, the internet is not a real place. It's not a true reflection of society. And whenever you're talking about people who are not of age making decisions that could drastically impact them for the rest of their lives, you have to be very, very careful what you're saying. You have to be really, really careful. And that was a subject that he really should have stayed away from. It was something that he should not have delved into too deeply. And now he's basically paying a massive price for it. Like, this whole woke thing is beginning to implode on itself. I don't think it's ever going to entirely go away. I think that the wokeism is going to really be there forever because of Gen Zers and the fact that it's always going to be a part of their culture. It's its own culture at this point. It is 100% its own culture at this point. So those people are never going to go away. They'll be modern day hippies. They'll be in the streets stealing and squatting. They're never going to change. They will always, that woke garbage will always be there. There's an entire market for woke content, woke television, woke movies, and it's just not going to go away. So it's a very sad thing. Gen Z is an extremely woke generation, and they're not going to stop. They can't stop, won't stop. They are way too far gone. So that just kind of like wakes everyone up to the reality that, this is really happening. This is the situation that we're in. And this is going to cost Charlie a lot, because this guy's a millionaire. He's made a lot of money. And I will agree with Charlie on some things. He said that, being on YouTube for a lot of people, he said in general is like, it's the luckiest job in the entire world. It really depends, because there's a lot of YouTubers have quit because of just the hard work that you have to put in to produce content and the mental toll that it takes on people. It's a very, very mentally tolling job. And you have, you read comments, you're always trying to figure out which ones you should take seriously versus which ones are trolls. So it can really, really be, it could be really, really hard on a person's mental state. But yeah, I mean, this is what happens when you go woke, go broke. And now, he had to leave there's a podcast that he was a part of. Now he had to quit. He's taking a definite hiatus from his channel. Guys, if you don't put out content for a while, like if you're a large YouTuber, just not even a largest YouTuber in general, and you have a certain schedule, like that's one of the reasons why I can't just stop dropping content, because I have a schedule on YouTube. Like, I have to put out a certain amount of content every day to maintain that relationship. I'm just being very honest with you. Like, YouTube knows, like, I put out this much content. They could always depend on me to put out this much content. And I have a certain schedule, right? And based on the way they sell ads and whatever. So I can't mess around. This is my job. This is my full-time job. Many of you guys don't realize just, how serious it is. I said this already. I make very, very good money. I'm not going to tell you guys how much money I make, but I will tell you that when I was, when I had 3,000 subscribers, this is not just like now, like just going back years, like when I first started YouTube, at 3,000 subscribers, I was easily making around $50,000 a year. So I just want you to, and I put that out there just so you guys can understand that this is a real job. This is a real job. And what do I have now? Like 47,000. This is a real job. And the number of subscribers you have don't matter as much as the watch time that you get, the amount of watch time that your videos get, and like the products and services that you're selling. But I was pulling in like 40, like 50K just from ad revenue. And that was years ago. When I first started out YouTube, because I've been on YouTube almost exactly 10 years now. So this is a platform where you can make a full-time living, but you have to respect the work that you do on the platform. You have to absolutely respect the work that you do on the platform. You have to take it seriously. It's on one hand, it's a privilege. On the other hand, a lot of people have to earn it. There's some people who get really, really lucky, but then but more often than not, you have to earn it. And you also have to be mindful of some of the things that you go into. For example, certain things you stay away from. When it comes to discussing like people who are not of age, you want to stay the hell away from that. And because of that wokeism in these people, it makes them think that they can lecture and do whatever they want and say whatever they want, and there won't be any consequences. And now Charlie's discovering that there are serious consequences, and he can sit around and act like, oh, I don't care if those kinds of people watch my videos. Those kinds of people, like that's what they're like, I don't want those kinds of people watching my videos anyway. That's like bro, woke is like the woke mindset. Most people today are not woke. All right. Most people today are not woke. They're a small portion of the population, but they are very vocal. And it's always the minority that is extremely vocal and extremely toxic that ends up imposing their will over the majority. But at the end of the day, people are pissed off right now. And the one thing that you should never do is you should never, ever get involved in topics where you discuss, where are surrounding people who are not of age. And it's crazy that Charlie thought that he was going to be able to get away with it. And I know right now he feels like he's the victim and, people just don't understand. Like, I don't know, guys. Like, this is it. Like, bro, like, I think he'll be okay. I think he'll eventually come back. Hopefully he's not gone for too long. I don't think Charlie is a bad guy. But like that comment like that he made was it was terrible. It was really, really terrible. Really, really terrible. And that's you don't mess around. You don't talk certain things. You don't mess with people who are not of age. You don't talk, like, just stay away from the subject entirely if you can, and I'm not crying for him. I'm absolutely not crying for him in this respect. I like Charlie. There are things that I do not like with him, but I like him overall as a person. I don't want to beef with Charlie, but I feel it's so hard because most other things I would feel bad for him over. Like if it was something else, and even if he was in the wrong, I'd say I still feel he's not a bad guy overall. I think his heart's in the right place, even though he's a Gen Z or he's right on the cusp of them. I don't but something like this. No, like it's like I feel sad. I feel like I have such mixed emotions when it comes to Moist Critical because it's not a person that I absolutely dislike. But he really went in the wrong direction. He went in the wrong direction, and he needs to hopefully he spends some time and repents for what he's done and learns from it. But I don't think that he will. I think that he's gonna. I think he feels like he's a victim right now of the entire situation. And it just kind of illustrates how far down, how deep we've gone downhill. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think regarding all of this. This is what happens when you go woke. Leave me know your thoughts, and we'll talk about it in the comments. And guys, if you're enjoying the content, do make sure to subscribe to our newsletter for my personal thoughts, insights, and a free copy of my ebook, The Blueprint for Escaping the Rat Race. Click the link in the description to get your free copy. I don't know what's going to happen with Moist. I think he's going to be gone for a little while. And I think this is going to just set kind of a, I think this is going to set kind of a, it's going to set kind of a basis, you know, of where things are headed. Like, you know, because more and more companies are stripping out their DI, diversity, equity, inclusion departments. A lot of companies are walking back the whole woke stuff. And this is going to have to be an example for some YouTubers. Like, oh, which one do you like? Do you like money? Do you like money? Do you want to keep your career? Maybe you should stay away from the woke stuff, because that woke stuff, these people, they think that woke is so good and they can get away with, they can say anything and everything with woke, and it'll destroy your entire life. It will destroy your entire life. It will rob you of your life, because there are certain things you just do not say and do not mess with. And, you know, they messed around and now they're finding out. But, you know, like I said, I think this is going to have major implications for not just for a lot of other YouTubers and companies in general, as a telltale of what happens if you mess with woke. But you let me know what you guys think, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.